Hey guys, this is Chris with Sticker Fab. Today we're going to be looking at the Tesla Model 3 lights. And I don't have a Tesla Model 3. I can't buy every single vehicle, and my wife wouldn't let me even if I could. So we're actually going to do the install with just the lamps. And we only have the left and right outer and the, looks like, left inner here. We're still waiting on one more. What actually happened was that my supplier of actual headlamps was trying to get some of these lights because they're going to do some aftermarket ones. If you guys want more information on that, be sure to contact me either at stickerfab.com or comment on this YouTube video. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. Even if you don't have a Tesla Model 3, we might have something else for you on our site, or in the future we might have something. So these are the dark smoke overlays. These are probably going to be the most popular. Of course, they reduce the amount of light output a little bit, but mainly when the lamp is off, you won't see kind of all this chrome inside of the lamp. We're going to be doing the install of the right outer first. Like I said, there are a couple different methods. If you're going to go in wet because you're not sure about the alignment, get a little bit of soap, just like a drop of dish soap or even hand soap, and mix it up with water. Be sure to clean this surface. I should have actually brought a napkin. I don't think I have one around here. We'll try to do without. Anyways. So you've got this all clean. Your hands are all clean because you don't want to leave oil on the back of these overlays. And you'll kind of just wet this down. So you're minimizing the adhesion in the vinyl, so you can kind of slide it around and put it in place. The only thing is you're going to need to squeegee out the water, and I recommend using your fingers because that won't damage the actual material. You'll want to have a hairdryer around. This is actually just a Dyson hairdryer of sorts. Let me get this out. There we go. It'll help dry out the water so that the adhesive on the back of the vinyl will get sticky again. So let me wet my hands so I don't leave any oil on the back of these. And what I'm trying to do is kind of line it up around the curve of the red bar. So in general, we kind of want it flat across the bottom, follow that curve everywhere else. And I'm just going to push back and forth until I get all that water out and the air goes with it. That's why the wet installation is also easy. Not only can you remove it really easily and reapply, you can get the air out with the water. Not only that, sometimes if you have some little specks of dust or whatnot, they will also come out with the water. Now, pushing it around the corner, you can see it's not sticking, and that's because of the soapy water. I'm going to make sure this is aligned correctly. Maybe bring it up actually just a little bit. It's not perfectly aligned on the bottom. So I'm going to kind of change that angle around slightly. Okay. And that's easy to do because we're doing a wet install. So now I get the handy dandy hairdryer here. Of course you can use a heat gun, but if you use a heat gun, be sure not to use too much heat. Getting all that soapy water out. Again, I really don't recommend using a plastic squeegee unless you put a damp towel around it, because you can scratch the material. Now, I say the dark smoke material is one of the harder ones. It really is pretty easy. But the special edition materials, the Stealth, Carbon Fiber, Honeycomb, Star Galaxy, those all have air egress channels already. And that helps the air get out from underneath the material. So now there are no bubbles under there. And when you get to an edge, you're kind of just pushing the material over. If you have any creases, just push a little bit harder. It'll stretch out the material, especially if it's heated up a bit. There we go. That's kind of the final product. You'll notice that there is a little indentation in the lens from the factory. That's just what lenses tend to have. And there you go. So it wraps around the side, which is pretty good because you won't have a light escaping out of that gap. Let's go ahead and light it back up. So you can definitely still see the brake light, but when it's off, it's dark. So if I had done the install on the other side, we would have kind of wanted to make sure that this line lines up with the inner portion. In general, all you do there is make sure that you're covering the same amount of area below this little light bar. So right at the end of the light bar, you put your overlay. This time I'm going to do a dry install. You just have to be a little bit better with the dry install. It's a little bit harder to move the material. If your lens is dirty, you are likely to trap dust under it. So you're going to be following this curve right here, and this lens isn't totally flat, so there is like a little indentation right there in the overlay, a slight change of direction. The overhang on this part is not as long, as you'll notice shortly. I'm going to hold this material up right here because I have to have an area for the air to escape. So I'll kind of work my fingers along the top. And work my way down. You can pull the material back up, but you can also wind up stretching it a little bit. That's why I'm trying to keep one hand underneath it. Kind of just work my way down. Making sure that I'm not closing off the area for the air to escape. So my initial alignment was along this bar, making sure that I kind of run parallel along the bottom edge of it. And then it should come right down to where this black paint basically is on the bottom of the Tesla Model 3 inner lamp. This is the, again, inner lamp, which would be mounted on your rear deck lid / trunk, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just pushing the edge, pushing it around that curve. And there you have it. A dry install. No heat gun, no anything. And that's what it looks like. So I'll leave a link in the description below on where you can order these. And we'll be sending these out to some people so they can get on vehicle pictures. Thanks a lot, and again, remember to like and subscribe.